going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is the day. The Airlift 3P is finally going on my car. Yeah, I know about a year ago when I got the silvers, I said, you know, I'll be static for life, but things have changed and I found a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace for these Airlift bags and couldn't really pass it up. So yeah, the car is officially gonna be going on bags, and today we will be showing you how I did my setup. I did the trunk setup, ran the airlines, and now I'm installing the struts and putting everything together today. So should be a nice long video. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy. Anyway, here they are. I still have to redo these fittings here with new Teflon tape and whatnot, but besides that, should just be plug and play. Now, I did do this install over the course of several weeks. I did the trunk slash hatch setup a couple weeks ago, as you can see right here. Just set that up. It's just a basic air tank and two compressors. You will see here in the next segment of this video how I did that. And then I ran the air lines on another day just so I could get that out of the way. And then today, day 3, is when I'm putting on the struts. Now, I think normally this should really only take you a weekend or so, maybe even less. I just wanted to take my time with it, as you know, it's still kind of winter time and I didn't really want to run bags yet, but since it's starting to warm up, I figured there's no better time than now to throw this on. And with that being said, let's get to how I did the trunk setup. So here's my plan for the trunk setup. So how you see it right now is what I'm going to do. Have the air tank in the back, two compressors on the side, and the manifold in the center. I may purchase the manifold stand so that it sits upright, but I don't really have an interest for the fake wood setup and anything like that. Honestly, the trunk setup is not that important to me, but I do want it to look clean when it needs to be seen. So that's the goal. I'm just going to use the OEM all-weather mat and the stock carpet down here. It is rigid enough to support the tank, I believe, so it should be fine. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and mock up some of the holes and start drilling. Hopefully we can get this going. I don't know about you guys, but I just dropped some serious rhymes right there, so give this video a like. So actually, for the compressors, I have some isolators for them so that they won't make so much noise. They do have these available from Airlift, and it's honestly like 70 bucks for just one set. So I went on eBay and looked up something similar, and I was able to find these. These were just about $50 for all of it right here. So not bad, honestly. Definitely a good deal. Hopefully these work. I mean, honestly, it's just a rubber and a spring, so it'll probably do the same thing as the Airlift one. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be running on the compressors. Hopefully the noise isn't too bad. So here we are, guys. This is my trunk setup. Oh, my hatch setup. Got the two compressors, the big air tank, manifold in the center. I think I will get a stand for this. I know this should technically be elevated over the tank, but I don't know. We'll see. I want to turn this plate around once I find the right bit for that. But check it out, guys. Pretty simple. Got the isolator kit on. You can see it's all bolted under here. Hopefully it fits in the car with those studs sticking out. I got the exhaust airline from the water trap right there, so ready to go with that. Now, I know I didn't really show what's going on with the air tank, but pretty much your compressors go right in here like so. I got two, so there's gonna be two of these leader lines. Got the wiring coming out of each that we're going to the wiring harness, of course, and of course the harness I have is for the dual compressor setup. Here's our water trap. Got one side going into the tank here. This is going to go to your manifold, and then underneath here is the drain, so I have that going right down. Then down here, well, it's hard to see, but I got another fitting there. And then we have this right here is a Schrader valve at the end, so you can drain your tank and whatnot. And here is a purge valve, which all comes with the kit. So that's pretty neat. I'm just gonna have it tucked under here somewhere, so it's easy to access when I need to. But yeah, might get the stand for this. They have a vertical stand where this is angled this way, so maybe when I film the install, I will have that installed. So we'll see about that. Well, let's see now if I can throw this in the hatch with everything attached. That was the idea, just so I have everything set up, ready to go. I just have to plug in the air lines and be good with that. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can put this in the car. Boom, there we go. Got the setup all mounted up. Only downside, of course, is the trunk space is much more limited. I know I keep saying trunk, but it's a hatchback, obviously. But it's all right, I guess. So here's the tank setup for now. Got the air tank in the center, like I said. Everything should be centered up on that mat. I'll get some wiring conduit to tie this up, but it'll all be tucked back there. Hopefully I give myself enough room for the wires. If not, then I'm gonna have to redo this or move things back, but I think it should be pretty decent where it's at. I think I will keep the tank this raw aluminum finish. You know, I don't really care for it that much, but I think it gives it a nice contrast. I was gonna paint it black, but that will probably match a little too much of everything else, so I'm just gonna leave it how it is and slap on a Katana Style sticker in the center and call it a day. Now I got the car in the garage, and what I'm gonna do is route all the air lines, but here's a reminder of what the trunk setup looks like. I actually did end up buying that manifold stand, so now this stands at a 45-degree angle, so this is gonna be nice and clean looking. And honestly, I was afraid it was gonna add too much height to the overall setup, but it really doesn't, so it worked out perfectly. Got this off eBay. It was like $23. It's called a pedestal mount, and yeah, it's pretty much secured like that. Down here, just with a couple bolts and nuts. Nothing too crazy here. I don't think it interferes with anything in here. I mean, it might be in contact with this spare tire, which I may remove, honestly, just so it's easier to get all the wiring figured out. But yeah, it should be a pretty easy install, guys. I'm hoping. I mean, I got pretty much everything set up, but it should be a pretty easy install, honestly. I mean, I have the trunk set up already ready to go. It's just a matter of getting the wires all clean and putting the struts in, so it should be pretty good. But to get started, I'm going to be routing a majority of the harness on the driver's side, since the battery is right here, so it'll be perfect to have everything going right to that. I was debating of running air lines across the firewall and through this way so everything comes out of one side, but it might not be necessary. I may just run the line through the passenger as well and then have two lines from this, but we'll see. Everything should go right through the fender liner, through this grommet here, and then out into the car and underneath all the carpeting. I'm really looking to get the cleanest install possible with nothing outside. That is the goal, because I don't want anything to damage these lines. So I'm gonna tuck everything away. Hopefully everything works out, and yeah, let's see how this goes. Here we go. You guys didn't watch my STI seat install video, highly recommended.
Perfect.
So I actually started to pop off some panels because I know I'm going to run a lot of this line underneath here. There's already existing harness, so it's just best to follow what the car already comes with. So removing this panel, it just comes right off, pops off, no problem. I know the B pillar is a little hard to remove. I think you can pop this out slightly, but that's really about it. Apologies for the lighting once again, but I'm going to take off this door sill panel thing. That came off like nothing. It's actually kind of concerning how easy that was. But I should be able to run a lot of the line underneath here. So I already know we're gonna have wires coming down from here into the carpet. Popped off all these panels, really easy, it just comes right out. This you can lift up and also comes off, and then as y'all can see, there is some of the car's harness down there, so I'm just gonna follow that and tuck everything underneath, and it should be a really clean install. Everything should route into there. Hoping the fuse tab, I can use something in here. I think we can. And also the controller, I'm not sure if I want to run them underneath the center console and then up through the center there, or run it through down here and go across, but we'll see. I mean, I have the poor man's access port right there, so maybe I'll just end up mounting it here somewhere, but we'll see. So I guess it's worth noting that I got this kit secondhand, so when he was uninstalling the kit, he actually cut off all the leads. So this is the main power wire. As you can see, it has an inline fuse. So it may be hard to feed these through to the front of the car if they're, you know, connected, because this is a pretty big chunk to fit through a grommet. So that may be a tip if you want to make this easy on yourself. I'm not sure if it comes already detached from Airlift, but yeah, just keep in mind that a lot of these leads are already cut, and I'm just going to be re-splicing them and everything. After removing this spare tire trim or whatever that is, you get a lot of room in here that has no interference with the seat. So right underneath that bracket there is where a majority of this harness will feed through. So everything should be good. I'm going to start with putting everything that needs to be in the back to the back. So I got the compressor leads here, the relay for that, and also the other side, the Airlift manifold connection as well. I'm gonna start with that all back here and then just start feeding everything through to the front. Then hopefully we can fit some air line through there on the other side, from the other side of the car, from the front. The rears, I think there should be some grommets underneath here that will lead to the outside, so like one of these or something, but I'll have to find out here when I get the car in the air. A little progress update for you guys. I got the 2 compressor harnesses run through up to the front. I have the ignition tap, fuse tab or whatever run to the front as well, and I also have the driver's side front airline also routed through. So like I mentioned before, it's all going under that seat bracket right here. I'll give you guys a better look. So taking out the back seat definitely helps a lot. So as you guys can see, got all the wiring following the existing harness on the car. Right under the seat bracket is where everything feeds through to the back, as you can see. So quick tip, I guess the best thing to do is, this is your seat belt bolt right here. You want to make sure these are behind it, because if you pull on this, it's going to move your wiring. So I have this positioned right behind it so it will not interfere with anything, and it goes right through the back. I know it's hard to see, I'm sorry about the angle, but yeah, make sure nothing is hitting anything when the seats are moving up and down and whatnot, and you should be all right. So then the rest of the wiring and air line goes right under here. You can pop off the panels, and then underneath here there is some white clip things that you can feed it through. Now getting it through the B pillar is a little tricky, and honestly you need to watch for this part that the light's shining on right here. You want to make sure that's not going to crush the wiring when this is seated back down. But besides that, just feed it through. Maybe tie some air line onto some of the wires and feed it through that way, kind of like you're fishing it out. Might give you some better results, but yeah, it was a bit of a struggle to get those through, but ended up making it no problem. And you can see it comes right through here. Towards the back of the door right here, there is also a little white clippy thing. As you can see, make sure you get the wires through there. I actually missed one, but it's not gonna be a big deal because it's underneath the car. Follow it through. Just follow it through, and you should be able to come out right here. So I got everything coming out of here. I know I'm gonna be fishing some wire underneath here and through that grommet inside the fender liner. So right now I'm just waiting to jack up the car and feed that through, and then your fuse box is exposed here. There should be a fuse for that ignition right there, so I will show you guys which one that is, and then we'll tap into that. Then the airlift controller, I actually just have the wire going down the center here. I know it's hard to tell which one it is, but right there, I'm gonna find a way to get it underneath this console or on the side or something. I'll figure something out. Probably mount it in the center there. That's probably the best spot for it. So really nothing too bad so far. Gonna have to tidy this up a lot once I get the trunk setup in, but this probably won't matter for you guys. But since I'm doing this install on separate days, I'm not gonna run the rear airlines yet, because I already know I'm gonna have to take off all the stuff and feed it out anyway when I do the struts, so I'll just wait to do that. But I'm also gonna run the passenger side airline from the front. It's gonna be the same process. It's gonna be a lot easier since I'm only working with one thing rather than this jumble of stuff. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. So now I'm just gonna jack the car up on this side just so I can get all the main stuff run through the fender liner, and probably just gonna zip tie it up here for now or something till I do the actual strut install. But yeah, after that, just running the airline on the other side, and that's really it. I feel like there's 2 grommets that you could probably go through. I'm thinking about the one right up there. I already have my fog lights hooked up that way, so I already know that goes into the car. But there's also one inside the door jamb, kinda. I will point to it right there. There's another grommet there that will also go into the car. But I think I'm just gonna poke a hole through that one and then fish some airline through to fish up those wires through there. Then have those just run up along the harness up here, up and out of the way of everything else, and then it should lead into the hood. Yeah, I think that is what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to screw this up and do this wrong. So this is what I was getting at when I said fishing airline through there, just so to make a hole. So as you can see, I have one of the airlines just poked through there, and that is now inside the car. So when we go in the car, you'll see The orange tape on it, that is the airline from that hole. So I'm going to tie these wires onto the end of that and then fish it back out, and then we should have these wires up there, and then we can route them around the engine bay and all that fun stuff, and everything should be good. I'm going to zip tie it along that engine harness up there, and then it's just going to lead up here, out through here somewhere. I'm just gonna tie them up for now until I put the struts on and power everything up. But yeah, one thing to look out for is where that airline is. You don't want that to rub on anything, so I'm gonna make sure that doesn't rub on the frame there, because the last thing you want is a popped airline or something. So I'm gonna double check that and make sure I can get to a spot where it won't rub, and then we should be pretty safe. Now that you've seen how I did everything up to this point, we are now going to start installing the struts. So I'm going to do the rears first, since I had the car up in the air already for the tow arm install. I already dropped the LCAs right there. Just had to unbolt the coilover and then, yeah, just put in a new strut. Well, I know I didn't really go over the rears that much on how I ran the lines, but my plan now, hopefully this works. I have some airline going through this grommet right here that I took off. So there was a grommet there. This leads down. There's also some on the side here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use those. So this might not be the most in-depth video out there, but hopefully it gives you guys a general idea on how to put the bags on. I mean, for this car, I've definitely never seen an install video for this, so maybe this will help some of you guys out. But I'm sure the install is relatively the same across most Subaru platforms anyway. I mean, it's just a matter of where you can put lines and where you can route things. But pretty much so far, it's been the same as the 15WRX. We have the same interior, so everything is pretty much going the same place. We'll start by taking out the rear struts. I already dropped the control arm, so I need to make sure it's not going to fall. I do hate working in the garage when it's cold. Gotta do what you gotta do though. Won't loosen these all the way. It's a little tricky. There we go. Alrighty. Coilover's off. Literally feels like I just got these, which is true. It's been less than a year. There we go, one out. Come throw the rear struts in. It'll be super simple. Hopefully I can line this up correctly. The only way I probably use this way is to bolt it into the control arm and put it up that way, but I'm just gonna do it by hand and lift it. Hope I don't screw this up. Got it semi on there. I mean, we're gonna be adjusting this, I'm figuring, so I'm not gonna connect the leader line yet. Here's that leader line right here. I thinking of zip tying it to the sway bar, maybe having it run under beneath here. I think that might be it. So I might change this routing point into the other point from the other side. I'm not sure. It's just kind of hard to grasp where it's going to go, but of course the main goal is to not have this rub on anything, because that is no good. This airline rubs on stuff, you will be screwed. So best to tie it up and out of the way, have it off to the side, so that the wheel will never hit it. That's the goal. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this up fully, put up the control arm, and then we should see how we're gonna do this airline. So I got the rear bag bolted on, but for some reason it's really hard to adjust it. So may have to end up unbolting it from the control arm again to adjust. I feel like it may be too low, not sure, but I'm just gonna go ahead and install the other side and then I'll get back to you guys. I'm going ahead and test fit the TE with the bag how it is, and this is where it's gonna sit when aired out. So hopefully it fits. I may have to add like a touch of camber for this corner here, but not sure. I might also be towing in a little bit from when I put in the tow arm, so that could also be a factor. But I don't know, guys, doesn't look bad, huh? Kind of want to go fender to lip if I can. I don't think it's hitting anything else, so maybe a touch of camber. We might be able to go fender to lip. All right, quick update, guys. It's been taking a little bit because I'm trying to make sure everything's good for the rears. It's a little different on this car, so I'm just double checking everything. But here's what we got. Here's the grommet I use. It's actually gonna be this one here. This one leads down, I'll show you guys, but I routed it over here. Hoping I can sneak this under the trim or something. Gonna see where that goes, and I just have it chilling right here. Definitely gonna cut off a lot of excess, but yeah, that's the grommet I end up using. I'm probably gonna plug this one back in. Probably don't need that. You can use this for the exhaust port, but I don't know, guys, check it out. So here's the airline for the rear bag. It's coming down here. There's my leader line. I just have it zip tied right here. As you can see, that's where that grommet comes out of. So definitely doesn't give it a lot of room to move. So I shouldn't be rubbing on anything while I'm driving. That's the most important thing. You don't want this to rub away. You end up with a popped airline. That's no fun. There it is, all tidied up back there. Got everything bolted down. Probably have to adjust this toe, and I think it's still messing with the camber a bit, but not really quite sure how it works back here, but we'll get that situated at the alignment. But yeah, I got everything tied up back here. I kind of eyeballed the toe, I guess, and of course it probably changed the camber a lot. Not really 100% sure how that's gonna work, but I'll show you guys the outside. Here's the fitment. I ended up lowering the bags a little bit more. Now I might end up doing it again, but I think this is where we're gonna sit. Don't have much room in that corner. I actually hammered it out a little bit. It gives me a lot of room, but this is where it should be when it's aired out. So I think it looks pretty sick. Yeah, the bag should be fully compressed here, and this is where we're gonna sit. So there's definitely room under here. But you can't really tell the toe. It looks kind of straight. I don't really know, to be honest. I'll get an alignment as soon as I can, but geez, this thing's gonna be on the floor though. I feel like I've been taking way too long on this. Everything else should be a lot easier. I'm going to do the next side over here, and then once I get to the front, I'll turn the camera on again. We'll see how we're going to do that. So over the past hour or so, I've been trying to get this rear fitment dialed. It's definitely tricky because of all the different components required. I mean, the fronts are easy. It's just camber plates and camber bolts. But back here, I'm eyeballing the toe, I'm eyeballing the camber, and here's where we're at. We're pretty tucked. I mean, it's all right. I mean, this is really what I can do with, you know, square wheels. I mean, if I had stretch tires and some spacers, I could definitely go front to lip, but honestly, it's not that bad. Like, look at that. Oh my God. Like, that is straight up slammed, man. Like, woo. There's definitely more camber on this side now because it looks like it's tucking a lot more than the other side. I'm gonna double check, make the adjustments, but I think right here will be good. It's not rubbing here at all. It's not rubbing here. Definitely clears everything. So even when I air up and all that, should be perfectly fine. So we made some pretty good progress here. I decided to start routing the lines and wires back to the rear here. So, you know, I got my front driver airline, rear passenger airline, or rear left side. And I'm gonna get ready to put those up here just to get everything ready. Yeah, should be it, guys. I mean, getting closer. Honestly, the longest part is probably just getting the fitment to where you want it. I think I'm gonna want more camber on this side or less camber on this side. It kind of depends. I'm just gonna see where it sits on the floor. If it looks relatively even, then that's what I'm gonna go with. But hopefully the toe is okay. I kind of eyeballed it and looked kind of straight. So for now, as long as it's drivable for a little bit. Absolutely dumped. Oh my God. This is crazy, guys. Holy, look at that fitment. That is nuts. I don't know about you guys, but that is crazy. Oh man, this is like exceeding my expectations. Now I'm worried about the front. We have a lot less clearance in the front, so we might have to add some more camber or something, or a spacer. I do have 15mm spacers ready in case. That might be another thing to worry about, but oh my God. That thing is crazy. I'm just so hyped. Like, I literally look like crap right now, but this is honestly, this is just crazy to look at. Like, I seriously never thought I would have bags on this car with TEs. Like, that is unbelievable. There's just no way this is my car. Like, no kidding. There's just no way this is my car. I still can't believe it. But that's funny, you know, I didn't even test if everything works. I mean, I'm pretty confident, but it'd be funny if none of this worked at all. I'll take the wheels off first. Everything in here should be pretty straightforward. Unbolt everything, brake lines and whatnot. I don't know, it's all the same. I need to get the fender liner off of here because I still have to run that air line from in here to up here. So do that real quick. There are some things sticking out here. I think if you ran too much camber on the camber plate, you'll probably hit that. So I'm gonna see where it's at once I raise everything up, because I don't know, it may or may not be a problem. I'm gonna try to spin this so that this leader line is towards the back, just so it's not all up in here. And then I'm gonna route that airline up here, somewhere in here or something, probably off to the side, like right here. I do have some P-clips I could drill into here, which I might do, just for making everything clean. All right, update for you guys. Here is the car front bags installed. This is what it would be when aired out. So probably could lower it a little more. Thing is, this is a 15 mil spacer, and this is where it's poking right now. So it's touching. I don't think got anywhere to move. Actually, I've changed the plans. With that 15, might have been a little too aggressive. Here's a 5. I don't think it's hitting the strut. Fender liners are getting kind of screwed over here. This is a lot better, in my opinion. A little closer to how I like it. But let's go underneath. There's where the wheel is. Comparison to the strut. I don't think it's rubbing. So may just go with this. So to put the car on the ground and test everything, but I don't think it's gonna rub. So I think we're one step closer, guys. All right, as of right now, everything is now hooked up. All the air lines hooked up. All the compressors are wired together. I just have to clean it all up and whatnot, but I really wanted to make sure it works. Got all my leads here for both compressors. You know, your positive, negative, has an added fuse on each inside. Got our fuse tap here. I use the IG1 fuse right here. So I used the fuse called IG1. 7.5 amps. That should be a fuse that turns on with the car and stays on as you turn it over. So you just have that installed right there. So now the moment of truth is, once I turn the key, you should see the controller light up, and then we should hear compressors running. So hopefully it's good. Moment of truth. Let me get the controller out. Still need to make everything look nice, but here's the controller. So this works. It should light up. Funny, doesn't work because I don't have the main plug in. So let me try that again. All right, let's try this again. Oh yeah, here we go. Airlift 3P. So quick update. Had some issues with the power, but I figured it out. It was just the battery connection was kind of faulty. Everything works, but we do have a slight problem. As you can hear, the compressors are on because we have an air leak from the water trap. I'm not sure why. Kind of sucks. But this is the aired out look, guys. It is crazy. Oh my god. This thing is on the floor. Let me show you guys quick. I didn't calibrate or anything yet. I'm gonna try to fix that leak. So I actually figured out what the problem was. Turns out my water, well, ignore all this crap. Turns out my water trap was facing the wrong way. So there's an arrow on top of the water trap. Arrow needs to face towards the manifold, so it needs to come out. So I think that was screwing with it a little bit, and I didn't have everything tight all the way on the water trap, so it was leaking air, but now we're good. Here's my preset ride height, and I'm just kidding. This is my aired up speed bump height at like 70 PSI all around, nice and high up. But now, when we come in here, start it up. Everything works, got the controller right there. Let me show you guys the ride height. Actually, here's where my ride set's set at, about 45 on each corner. Just so it's pretty similar to what I used to have when I was static. Shouldn't be too low, plenty of clearance now. I need to work over here though still. There might be a little too much camber on this side. And I really want to get it, you know, exactly where I want it before I take it to get a line, just so I can get the ballpark of what camber I want. Fronts look like. Still kind of tucking a little bit, it's nothing too crazy. yeah, I'll get some outside shots when it's a little nicer out. So here is everything working. This is how the car is right now. I can show you guys. I have it on my phone. What we can do, I'm gonna air out and just see what we're working with here. It's pretty sweet, right? Can't believe my car is on bags, but here's the car finally all dialed in. It's been actually about a week and a half since I put the bags on, and I've just been working out a couple things. But now we got everything good to go. Got everything nice and aired out right now. I still need to get it aligned, of course, but yeah, I'm really loving the bags. How low the clip is now. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's really it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. How to install bags. I mean, I know I didn't go into full detail on how to do everything, but hopefully it gives you a good enough idea on what to expect when you put the bags on yourself. And it's definitely doable for sure. It's not nothing crazy to do. And yeah, just make sure you have enough time to do everything, of course. But yeah, I think the longest part was dialing in the fitment and everything, getting the camber just right. Of course, you know, I try to eyeball the toe alignment as best I could. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Anyway, that really about wraps up this video. Thanks so much for watching. Cars on bags. Stay tuned for more content. It was a long process, but we got it done, so very satisfied. Just look at that. Very cool. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate all the support, and hopefully we can get the content back up and going for the summer and springtime. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at wood.kgfx. Check out Katana Style, katanastyle.com, and at katana.style on Instagram. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.